Okay. Today I would like to explain a movie in English. Actually, that was an Indian movie and it was based on the student struggles if they do not go in a same way that the people like their parents wanted to. Like if a student has like different students have a different ability and they have a different pace for a learning like they learn in a different speed like some students learn faster, some students learn slower. So basically it was a story of a student, a kid or a child that is unable to learn as fast as other children of his own age. So I'm trying to speak a little bit slower so that I will get time to explain the thing that is coming into my mind. So, and without like without being confused to explain a particular topic. So I will try to speak in a little bit slower way. So the story starts with a boy who is in his school and who do not pay attention in the class because like he is not interested to study. And a teacher comes and then he started to beat him and then he just you know then he just he just sent the student outside of the class as part of the punishment. And then the student was so bad, like when he was returning back to the home, there was a guy who just, threw a ball at him, and then he asked him to pass that small boy. Let's mention the name of the boy so that I will have easier for explaining the story. The name of the boy was Ishan, and there was a boy who were playing a cricket, and they threw the ball towards the Ishan, and then they asked the Ishan to throw the ball. Then what? Ishan then threw the ball, but unfortunately that ball went too far, and then it hit the neighbor, and then the ball was lost, and there started a fight between the leader of that cricket and then that boy. I mean Ishan versus that wicked boy, and then the fight was a little bit brutal, and then Ishan got some, you know, punches, and he also had some injuries. So there were some blurs in his like forehead and in the back of his hand like that. But he also had some like he also beat his opponent that was the captain. So because of that the guy who threw the ball towards the Isan's, his mother came into the Isan's house, and then they just quarreled with the Isan's mother and father. And because of that, during that time, Isan exactly come towards in that same room, and then because of that, he had to face a lots of words, lots of curse from his own parents, and because of that, he was a little bit sad. But so with the time went on, like one day he just, failed the math. Like he just failed the math paper and he just did the first question of the math that was 3 into 13. And actually, I mean 3 into 9. He just did the first question of the test paper and he just write 3 into 9. There was the question, and just he just imagined something like solar system, like he in the solar system he was tasked to bring up the Earth and then replace the Pluto. Basically, what he was thinking is like Earth is a third planet from the solar system, and Pluto was the ninth planet from the solar system. So basically, 3 into 9. What we see, 3 to 9. So he just thought that we need to place the Earth, like we need to take out the Earth from the space and then just hit the Pluto with that Earth. That means 3 to 9. He thought like that. And he, and in that battle, 3 won, right? because in that battle it showed that Pluto blasted and that Earth remained. So basically 3 won and he wrote the first answer 3, and all the time like he was not able to complete other questions because time had already passed, and first question was also wrong. So this was how. And then later in the movie what it was shown was that he never returned, like he never showed that test paper to his parents, and because of that his parents were called to the school and they had to listen a lot of things from the teachers. And the father of that Ishan decided to uh, admit Ishan in the boarding school, basically the school where the student gets punishment and where the student should act according to the teacher. Basically, the school was a little bit strict in comparison to that government school where the Ishan was reading. So he was not allowed to stay home. So basically, he was transferred to that school where he had to sleep there, where he had to eat there, where he had to study there. It was like that. And because of that, because of the school environment, because of the strict school environment, like they used to beat him, like when he was not able to answer the question, like when he was not able to focus on the class, because he used to see outside of the class, and when teacher asked him to do, like to say what they were doing in the class, he was not able to say that, and because of that, he used to be called in front and he used to get beat. Teacher used to beat him in his hand, even by folding the hands like this, and they used to beat him uh, with the stick, I mean scale. It was like that. And before going that boarding school, he really was interested in paintings and he used to draw beautiful things like folding paper. Like when we fold the paper, like when we fold the paper in the speedway, then there used to be a art that used to form in the form of video, right? When we just fold the different paper at once, slowly, then there comes a there the static art starts to become a video like that. He had drawn that, and he had also drawn a lot of things before going into that boarding school. But when he went there, his interest was basically killed. His interest was basically like forced to end. But in that moment, a hero of the movie, let's say a teacher, new teacher came into that school, and he helped that Ishan to get interest back into his his let's say paintings. First of all, he found that when he, let's say the name of the hero be Tom. When the Tom entered into the class for the first time, he tried to make a fun entry. Like he tried to enjoy with the students everything he tried. Like he tried to do things that were a little bit comedy, that that engage the student, but basically what he did never affected the Ishan because he used to be sad. So because of that, but actually the Tom came from the place where there were a lots of other students who had some physical problems or some mental issue like that. He had some experience of dealing with such students. So basically what he did is he just went to the Ishan's home and tried to convince the Ishan's parents, but actually they were not ready to convince. Actually, mother was ready to convince, but his father was not. So he did his best. He tried to show the pattern in the mistake, and then he also speak to the principal of that boarding school, and he got some permission to teach him. And with the hard work, like he tried to teach him in a various way, in the various painting style, like Isan has problem of understanding the words. Like when we write two, we when we write a, then we get an image of apple into our mind. But actually that is not understood by that student, that Sam, because that thing is not like into his mind. So for that, the Tom really tried to make the Ishan understand how the things work. He tried to make his mathematics stronger. He tried to make his English like English, not only the English, there was a Nepali word, I mean, sorry, Hindi word actually. He tried to um, he tried to make him understand these words, these letters in a very, very friendly way. Like he loves art. So he tried to teach the Ishan in such a way that it grew his art, but also he will understand the words, letters, and other things. He also motivated him, like he gave an example of Albert Einstein, who was very like lazy, like other people did not try to understand him, like other people did not like to him, and he was a really so slow person when he was child. He also gave an example of Leonardo da Vinci, like that. He gave a famous people example, and at the end, he also said that the Tom was also a same kind of person when he was child, and I believe because of that experience that Tom had, he had some personal connection with the Asian, so he was very feeling from the inside to bring the Isan in the front and to convince the Isan to fight against the challenges he had. So at the end, the art competition was organized by the Tom, the every member of the school, including teachers, principals, students, were to be participating in that art competition. And in that art competition, Ishan won the first prize. So yeah, in this way, this movie ends. I try to explain as much as in a good way in English. So I hope it works for me to communicate, to practice my communication in English. I still had a little bit problem to speak and think. So yeah, I will try to improve. Okay. So basically the movie was about 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours, 48 minutes long. Yeah. And anyways, the movie this mouth is not working, guys. Let's stop the record.